Podcasting from the Midwest, this is No Bulliez Pleaze with Zach, the Zombie, and myself, Chad Hunter. Joining us is our sometimes co-host, Orlando.
Hey!
And we're here to discuss bullying prevention and promoting empathy in kids with a dash of humor, hope, and zombies. Not only am I the host, but I'm also the author of the children's book, Zach and the Zombie, No Bulliez Pleaze. And I'm the presenter and developer of the school presentations No Bulliez Pleaze and Rise Up, Stand Up. Hey, welcome folks to another episode of No Bulliez Pleaze. And today we're diving into a topic that's as serious as it is prevalent, bullying. And we'll be discussing my recent recent book, Zach and the Zombie, No Bulliez Pleaze, which I consider an insightful book, if I can be so bold, that sheds light on understanding bullying. So whether you're a parent, a teacher, or just someone who cares, this episode is for you. So let's start with the basics, a little bit of the history about the book. And then we'll get into bullying. So Zach and the Zombie, No Bulliez Pleaze was written about a little over 5 years ago. And it started off with reading to my son's class at the time. And it was around Halloween, and we were talking about the origin of Halloween. And I asked the kids, what do you guys want to be? And every kid wanted to be a zombie. And I thought that was hilarious because, a little creepy, because when I was a kid, zombies were like terrifying. They weren't like cool or friendly, and they weren't everywhere like they are today in video games and on TV. And, they were in movies, and they were terrifying, and they were going to eat you. But the kids now are almost like, in a healthy way, you could say they were accustomed to the thrills of fright. In an unhealthy way, they were desensitized to the horrors of the living dead. And but I saw their zeal, their eagerness, their excitement about something kind of creepy and scary. And I knew that my next book, I wanted to talk about bullying. I wanted to have a meaning. I wanted my next book to be something that was going to reach out to kids and make a difference. And as somebody who, we talked about it before, dealt with bullying growing up, I wanted to write a book that reached out to that kid, to those kids who have experienced, intimidation and being picked on and so on. So I put it in the old slow cooker that I call my brain. And next, popped out the idea of having a zombie book that dealt with bullying. The more and more I thought about it slowly in my subconscious, Zach and the Zombie popped up and No Bulliez Pleaze. So that's, literally kind of the history behind it. And then it started off with seeing if my son's school wanted to hear about it. They gobbled it up. Next thing I was reading to a class of 10 kids, and I was doing 50 kids. Then I was doing assemblies of 600 kids. And, to date, I've read at over almost 30 schools and at 25,000 kids across the country. And I'm not saying that as a brag or, look at me, but I'm honored and I'm very privileged to have the invitation into schools, into community groups, into libraries, to bring the message of, we can prevent bullying, we can promote empathy, we can be there for kids, we can be better than what we are. So that's very humbling to be able to talk about that. And the basics of bullying is, bullying is unwanted, aggressive behavior that involves a real or perceived power imbalance. It could be physical, you're a lot bigger than me, you're a lot smarter than me, right? It could be verbal, like teasing or threats. It could be social, like spreading rumors or excluding someone. And it could definitely be physical. Excuse me, like hitting or pushing. That comes across in the book. The book doesn't preach, but it does lay out some good, solid morals and ideas. And bullying is not a rite of passage. It's not something you have to go through to be better, to grow up. Bullying is harmful, it's dangerous, and the effects can be long-lasting. So let's talk some numbers, because numbers kind of make, bullying more concrete, and it definitely shows why Zach and the Zombie, No Bullies Please, came to be. Did you know that according to recent statistics, about 1 in 5 students report being bullied in the United States? That's a big number, guys. That's huge. And it's not just in person, right? Cyberbullying is on the rise. Our world is almost more digital than it is physical, especially after COVID, especially after telecommuting and e-learning. With the digital world providing a new platform for this old problem of bullying, cyberbullying is something that we have to take deadly serious, because too many kids are being hurt. Too many kids are being talked into hurting themselves. Too many kids are hurting themselves as a last resort, all from intimidation that starts out as zeros and ones. So here's the deal. Recognizing bullying in its early stages is crucial. The book, Zach and the Zombie, No Bullies Please, portrays this very concept through almost all of its pages. Early signs can be as subtle as changes in behavior, unexplained injuries, or lost personal items. And we see early signs of bullying in, a kid that Zach helps out in the book. And also we see some of the effects that bullying can have on adults as we end the pages of the story. It's essential to keep the lines of communication open, especially with kids when we deal with bullying, cyberbullying, and intimidation. So what do we do first? All right, so in the book, we talk about awareness. We talk about telling a trusted adult. We talk about the types of bullying that exist. And that's where we start, is by understanding the forms that bullying can take. We got to be vigilant, right? Our schools, our communities, our churches, our families, our friends need to work together. We have to encourage kids to speak up, whether they're victims or bystanders. You guys can probably hear the dog barking. But anyway, remember, guys, empathy is key. Teaching your kids to understand and respect others' feelings is a big step towards a bully-free world. Like in Zach and the Zombie, No Bullies Please, understanding and kindness can turn a scary situation into a learning opportunity. So to wrap it up, bullying is a serious issue, but it's one we can tackle together. By staying informed, being proactive, and fostering empathy, we can make a difference. Next time when we're back on, I'll be talking more in depth about the characters in Zach and the Zombie, No Bullies Please, and how each character represents a stage in bullying and also someone who can make a difference. So that's a wrap, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Remember, the conversation doesn't end here. Let's keep it going. Talk to your kids, your students, your friends. If you haven't already, check out Zach and the Zombie, No Bullies Please for some great insights. Let's work together to create a world with more empathy and kindness. I'll see you next time. And remember, to be good, do good, and no bullies please.